Hey, what's going on? It's Dr. Tartt. Today I want to talk to you. Welcome to another edition of Heart to Heart with Dr. Tartt. But today I want to talk to you about mental health issues and sleep problems. I know your attention span is short, but I want you to understand that there is a huge link between depression, anxiety, and even suicidal ideation are all elevated the most by sleep problems. I'm going to go through the research in a minute to prove this to you, but this is a public service announcement that we have to get more rest. So, every day I'm asked, Dr. Chart, what's going on with our mental health? Like, why are people cracking? Why are people losing, especially our kids? Why is there higher, suicidal ideation attempts? What's going on? I tell people it's sleep. It's sleep. And like, man, it can't be that simple. After you watch this video, you are never, ever, ever going to sleep the same again. You're not going to have the same mindset because we disrespect sleep. I remember Nas had a lyric, I don't sleep because sleep is the cousin of death, right? Nah, that's wrong. Actually, not sleeping actually leads you to an earlier death. There's actually a quote by E. Joseph Crossman that says, the best bridge between despair and hope is a good night's sleep. All right. How many of you been in the hospital? What do? They give you something to go to sleep so that you can rest, so that you can feel better. How many of you have just been stressed? And what do? Go to sleep. All right. If you ask anyone who's in corrections, when people get arrested, what's the first thing they do? Especially men, when they get arrested, they go to sleep. Right. And what does the word say about it? Like Psalm 127:2 says, it is in vain that you rise up early and go to bed late to rest. Okay. Hello, ladies and night owls. I know it's mostly you. Men do it too. All right. Eating the bread of the anxious toil. All right. For he gives to his beloved sleep. Basically means that it drives up your anxiety. And I'm going to add depression, thoughts of not being here anymore, all those things go in the opposite direction when you're not getting adequate sleep, right there in the word, right? Matter of fact, sleep problems are a better predictor of full-blown depression than even thoughts and wishes of death, feeling worthless, weight problems, and fatigue. You just read it right there. It's right there. So someone not sleeping is a better predictor of full-blown depression than all of this stuff. Now that sounds shocking, but when you think about it, when you think about it, sleep deprivation is an actual torture. Like they torture soldiers with, they torture people to try to get information out of them, right? So you think about it, sleep deprivation is really, really bad. Matter of fact, 40 to 90%, 95% of depressed patients have poor sleep quality. I know that's a large range, right? But it's saying that almost half to almost all of depressed patients have poor sleep quality. And so we're figuring out what comes first, the depression or the sleep. And we found out it's a sleep problem, right? It's the sleep. It's the sleep that's maintaining it. There may be some things that's happening to keep you from sleeping, but you need to go to sleep by any means necessary, right? So, in chronic insomnia increases the risk of depression by 40x. That's not four. That's not a misprint. That's 40x. Chronic insomnia, which means that you're having difficulty sleeping. So you're sleeping 5 hours or less for 3 months consecutively. You have a 40x chance increase of the onset or recurrence of depression. I mean, I can stop right there. All right. Insomnia and major depression among teens are reciprocally related, which means that the higher your insomnia, so the less sleep you get, the higher your depression, right? The more sleep you get, right, up to a healthy point, because you can't oversleep, right? The more sleep you get, the less your depression, right? And I can tell you that the average teen is supposed to get anywhere between 7 and 9 hours of sleep, right? Really, I think a lot of people say 8 to 10, right? Because teens are growing. They need that sleep. And that's part of what's going on is our teens are on their phones, their Netflix at ungodly times of night, not going to bed. My oldest daughter, Raquel, is definitely guilty. And after doing all this research on sleep, I'm definitely going to remove the phone from her possession so that she can get a full 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep without staying on the phone, right? 67% of clients with generalized anxiety disorder report sleep problems, right? I mean, it's y'all are getting the sleep problems 1 month after trauma are predictive of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, 1 year later, meaning you can't have peace of mind without allowing your body to rest, right? So sleep is a huge factor. And you have to ask your primary care physician, your psychologist, your psychiatrist. I'm gonna give you some resources in the end about how you can actually get to a qualified sleep specialist, right? I'm giving y'all real stuff, man. This is why psychologists and social workers and clinical counselors, we have to do more of this, right? Because it's cool to get relationship advice and mental health advice from a lot of advocates, but they don't know this stuff, right? So we just coming in, joining that space, working together as a team. So anxiety is actually triggered by sleep loss in women more than men, right? So if you're losing sleep, you're going to be more anxious, especially if you're a woman. I know y'all are watching this like I'm guilty, right? And I'm gonna tell you how to get to sleep in a minute. All right. Challenge. So I want you to set a bedtime and a wake time that allows you to get the necessary amount of sleep for yourself and your loved ones. That's what I want you to do. Right. Greater insomnia symptoms are associated with recent non-suicidal self-injury. So basically, the people who are not sleeping is associated, according to Bandel, who wrote an article in the Behavior Sleep Medicine magazine in 2018, that non-suicidal self-injury, so like cutting where they're not trying to hurt themselves, or they're doing things to injure themselves, but not to have suicide. But let's just talk about it. All right. Increase in serious suicidal thoughts is linked with insufficient sleep. And that was, published, author Lee in 2012. All right. There's a curvilinear relation between total sleep and suicidal ideation and attempts, right? The lowest would sleep 8 to 9 hours nightly. All right. And that's by, I think his name is it Chew? Chewy in 2018. So curvilinear means like so it's just starting up. I mean, total sleep time and suicidal ideation. So if you're getting a little bit of sleep, right, chances of you having suicidal ideation is higher. All right. 11% decrease in suicide plans for every 1 hour increase in sleep duration. This again is one of the preeminent researchers too when it comes to sleep. And that's pre-pandemic. So it's bad now, right? I mean, it's bad. So we ask, like, why are these kids wanting to hurt them? Sleep deprivation is at least the top cause. Now, whatever's left under that, well, let's treat it. But I can tell you, if you give them a good night's sleep, you're gonna see a lot of this stuff go down. I have been going in a loving, actually somewhat harsh way with a lot of my clients, to be honest, because I see this stuff coming, right? And if I can't get them to sleep, it's not even debatable. I don't even want to hear, oh, I can survive on 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Hey, I'm okay looking at my electronics before I go to bed. No, you're not. That's why you're not doing well. You have freedom and power in relationships with your psychologist, but this is not one of them, right? You can't debate the research when you see it is this strong. I just at least have to tell you, and then you can do what you want to do to your own detriment, hopefully to your own betterment, right? After that. So how to sleep better. I'm gonna do a whole class on this, right? So make sure that y'all are, following me, DM me, whatever you need, and I'll give you a way to actually follow me in a minute, but I'm gonna do all right. Yes, let's write the number down: 770-637-5710. That's my social text number: 770-637-5710. So I'm gonna tell you how to sleep better. I'm gonna do a whole class on it. All right. I promise you, I'm gonna do a whole class on it, but let's run through. I'm gonna write that in right now. But I'm gonna do a whole, I'm gonna tell you how to sleep better now, because I know you're watching. Like, I can't wait for you to do this class, Dr. Tartt. All right, I can't wait. That's the number: 678-637-5710. You don't have to say anything, just text it, and then I'll let you know when the sleep class is coming out. All right. So let's start. Really, so I'm gonna do this in less than a minute. All right. How to sleep better. All right. Number one, cut off the brain. Write out your thoughts and feelings. Write them out. Write out your thoughts and feelings. If it's in your brain loading, write them out, get them out, and then move on. Then I want you to visualize something positive. All right. I want you to cut out screen time as well. I want you to cut out screen time 1 to 2 hours before sleep. I'm gonna go back to the visualization, but 1 to 2 hours before sleep. At least wear there's these things called blue light omitting glasses. They actually are yellow, but I'm not gonna confuse you. All right. Goggles that allow melatonin to increase. So if you're gonna look at technology, even if you're driving home and you want to go to sleep within an hour of going home, where these blue light omitting goggles, you can get them on Amazon. All right. So you can also visualize. So what you're doing is you're visualizing certain things that you can go to sleep. So you're telling your brain to focus on something. They're guided visualization exercises that you can get in your Calm app, in your Headspace app. You can download them on Amazon, where it's basically telling you what to visualize. You're riding down the street. Do you see the leaves? Like, your brain focus on that, you'll be knocked out. right? You can also do something called progressive muscle relaxation. Just go on Google, Amazon, I mean, not Amazon, but Google, YouTube, and be able to find progressive muscle relaxation exercises where it literally detenses you so that you're less stressed and you can relax and release the tension. Yeah. All right. Gratitude prayer, right? This is the last thing you should do before you go to bed is write out three things you have gratitude for. You're thankful for. I'm thankful I didn't get in a car accident. I'm thankful no one called me about health issues. I'm thankful that I have a job. I'm thankful that my daughter says she loves me. I'm thankful that I'm married. I'm thankful that I'm still old enough to have a baby. And even though I'm single, right? You write out these things that you have gratitude for because the last thing you think about is the last mental state you have before you go to bed, right? You can do breathing practices. This is mindfulness where you're slowing down your breathing to get closer to sleep before you go to bed. Same thing with meditation, mindfulness, training the brain, what to think about. And like I said before, the gentle passive story, which is where maybe you're listening to an audible book. You're listening to a sermon that's kind of boring. No disrespect to fellow pastors out there, but you want something that's kind of low key. No, hype pastors, right? It's gonna keep you up. But you just want to listen to something that's gonna actually give you something to think about. Because saying don't think doesn't work. So let me think about what I'm listening to, and then you're gonna be knocked out. And then if you come out of a dream, you can actually go back into a dream, right? Let me get back into that dream. Oh, let me have a dream about Rihanna. I'm gonna be back in that dream so quickly. Anyway, y'all not here for my foolishness. Y'all here to get well. All right. So here's some resources. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine and the Society of Behavioral Sleep Medicine have sleep centers and sleep specialist locator. If this is you, you need to get with a sleep specialist ASAP. So Google that. You'll get the website and you'll find a locator in whatever city and state you're in because I want you to be well. Let's get some rest. Take care. God bless.